Welcome back, my fellow Earth Angels. I am Taylor. I'm so glad you joined me for another lesson. We are going to jump right in. Today's lesson is your energy is very telling. What do I mean by that? What do I mean? I'm so glad you asked. What I mean is you have to pay attention to how you respond to different tasks that you need to do, different things you have to show up to. Pay attention to your energy, because things that are for you and that are in alignment with God will give you energy, or you'll feel peace while you're doing it. But things that are not from God, things that are out of alignment, things that are forced, things that feel like an obligation, something you don't actually want to do. Notice how those things drain you. You're drained just thinking about it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to show up for it. You hate that you have to be there. It's physically draining and mentally draining. And we're going to dive deeper into that. Let me give some examples of my own life before we dive too far. So actually, let's start with today. Let's start with today's example. Today I went to work. This morning, I had a very energizing morning while I was doing my morning routine, which actually I just started doing morning vlogs on my Substack. Now that would be a paid subscription because that's a very intimate thing for me, but I'm going to be doing it anyway. And I think if anyone wants to watch it, it will be available for them to watch it, because you'll see a part of me that you're literally not going to see anywhere else. So it's like spending time with me. But I say all that to say, this morning I do my morning routine. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling great. I'm loving life. Everything's well. I go to work. I go clock into my 9 to 5. And I'm typically high energy because I be listening to the word all day in some form, whether it's a podcast, a video, the word itself, worship music. I be drowning out them people at work. I'm locked into the Lord. And I just know my days are numbered. I don't know when the Lord is going to deliver me from that workplace, but I do know my days are numbered. So I do have this underlying peace whenever I go to work. But despite the peace I have, I had to go to this meeting today. I go to this meeting. I literally fell asleep in the meeting. It was so boring. It was so boring. The person presenting literally looked like, he sounded like, because I wasn't even looking at him, but he sounded like he didn't want to be there either. So like, to listen to someone present for a while too. This man was talking for a very long time and he literally sounded like he didn't want to be there himself. So it's like the meeting, he wasn't the only one presenting in this meeting. And the meeting was half an hour long. Wow, it was only half an hour. It literally felt like 5 years. He wasn't the only one presenting, but the meeting, everyone that spoke before him, it was boring. He just really, he was the feather that broke the camel's back. He was so boring and he sounded uninterested in what he was presenting. It was just nothing that was really engaging. I literally fell asleep for a moment. Literally fell asleep for a moment. And after the meeting was over, I had to get up and go to another meeting. But when I got up, after sitting there for half an hour, listening to someone that sounded miserable, I got up and I'm walking to my next meeting and I'm just kind of reflecting on how I felt. And I was reflecting from the beginning of the meeting, because before the meeting really began, they like to do these icebreaker things where they share a little bit about themselves and then they open the floor for you to talk to the people around you so you can talk. But the question that they asked today, the question they wanted people to talk about today was literally something I could care less about. So I had no interest in partaking in that. I was sitting by myself anyway, so I was like, I'm not even gonna get on my phone. I just feel like being present. I just feel like being present and sitting here. So before the meeting even begins, they asked this question that was so far from my beliefs. I'm just sitting there listening to some of the chatter around me, and I'm listening to people talk about things I really do not care about. And that was the beginning of the drain train, okay? Because I'm listening to this conversation and I'm like, this is just so far from God that I don't want to be here. Listening to these people talk about what they were talking about was draining my energy to begin with, because I'm like, I can't relate. This isn't aligned with my lifestyle. This isn't fruitful. This isn't beautiful. This isn't anything that's improving anyone's lives. So already but I'm not judging. I'm minding my business. I'm sitting there. I had sunglasses on today. Lately, I've just been wearing sunglasses inside because that's the vibe I'm in, and who's gonna tell me I can't? Okay, so I'm in my own world, got my sunglasses on, I'm chilling. It was cold in there, I had my coat on, I'm chilling, I'm listening to the conversation and just thinking, the season is up. I've been at this job, I've been in this position for almost a year, and it's never quite impacted me the way it impacted me today. Like, typically I can listen to the conversations and I don't think much of it, but I'm really in a period of transition right now, and things are really like bold in my face right now. Things that I didn't necessarily notice before. So I'm listening to all of these people chat, and I'm having this revelation that the season is up. The season is up. There's nothing more for me to do here. There's not much more learning I can do. I'm not around good vibrations. This is not beneficial for my soul. My days are numbered. I don't know when it's coming. Shoot. It might be a Noah in the ark situation where Noah had to wait. He waited over 100 days before he even saw a sign of his relief. I pray I'm not about to have that type of revelation. But I know my days are numbered. Don't know how many days I got, but I know they're numbered. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, so before the meeting even begins, I'm listening and I'm like, this isn't sitting right with my spirit. My days are numbered. So that drained me. Then I listen to this boring meeting. They're going on, they're yapping. And I'm like, oh man, there's so many other things I could be doing. But I'm in this meeting, and that feather that broke the camel's back finished it off. Very boring, very boring. I got up, I'm walking to my next meeting, and I'm really just reflecting on the past 30 minutes of my life. And I literally felt in my body exhausted. I felt tired. I felt like I really just needed a nap after listening to that meeting. Literally fell asleep in the meeting. Thank God no one saw me. I would have hated to have to tell them that meeting was boring, and that's why I fell asleep. But I haven't felt that way in a very long time, so it really caught me off guard. And that's what gave me the idea. The Lord I had to go through that experience. I had to have that experience for the Lord to reveal to me that that's what today's lesson is going to be about. You have to pay attention to your energy. Your energy will tell you if you are in alignment or if you are not in alignment. And man, oh man, my energy was screaming, I am not in alignment. I mean, I am in the sense like, this is what the Lord is using to fund my life right now, but I do know its days are numbered. Mark my words. I literally have no clue when the Lord is going to deliver me, but I know he is. I know he is. And I can't stress it enough. That's why I keep saying it. But I literally said this was so draining, and I still had like an hour and a half left of my workday when that meeting was done. I said, oh. Ooh. So yeah, that feeling so draining reminded me that literally I come home from work and make these videos, and they literally give me new life. I can literally be like half asleep before I turn this camera on. I start yapping, talking about what I'm passionate about, what I love. I'm up. Like, do you see me? I'm up. This is not the energy I had at the back end of my day at work. This is not the energy I had. So that is just like a clear example that the things that you are meant to be doing, they give you new life. They give you energy. They feel peaceful. They feel light. They feel fun. You feel joy. All of that comes with alignment. When you're in places and spaces that you have no business being in, it's never going to feel light. It's never going to feel peaceful. It's never going to feel happy-go-lucky. It's none of that. And I've seen that in different areas of my life. Like when I was in my last job, the one where literally first week into the job, I knew I didn't want to be there no more, but I stayed for 4 years. Literally when I was at that job, and I was like, yeah, I got to start making moves. I got to start figuring out my next steps. This is when I was trying to drive the boat. I was like, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. How am I going to get up out of here? What's next, right? And this is when, so when I was in my last position, I started that last position on the same day that I started my master's program, right? And I was doing my master's program online, and it was supposed to be a 2-year program, but it took me like 3 or almost 3. That's another story for another day. It didn't take me 3 because of me. It took me 3 because the director changed and started doing different things. But that's a part of a much grander testimony that I will tell a different day. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So, I was doing my master's program while I was in this position, and because I was really focused on my master's program, I didn't really care much about the work. The work was something that was like not too crazy, so it was the perfect thing for me to be doing while I was going to school. Like, I didn't need 2 heavy things in my life. So when I finished my master's program, that's when I ramped it up and said, all right, now I'm ready to go, because now I got this degree on me. I got to get up out of here. Because now I'm just wasting my time. I know I don't want to be here. I've been knew I didn't want to be here. And now I have that piece of paper that they swore I needed to get higher in life. So once I got my master's degree, I turned it up a notch. I'm ready to go. After I got that master's degree, I stayed in that department for another year because I couldn't get a job because everyone was telling me I needed more experience. Now I got this piece of paper y'all swore I needed, and now it's the experience. It's always something with the world. It's always something. So then when I was really ready to like ramp it up after that year, I had been doing research. Funny enough, I got my master's degree and didn't even know what I was getting it for. I just knew I needed a piece of paper. So I got my master's degree, and once I got it, I started looking for what I can do with that master's degree. All over the place. And I came across project management, and I said, that's piqued my interest. That sounds like something I want to do. So that's what I decided I wanted to do. I said, I want to be a project manager. Put it on my vision board and everything. I've since updated my vision board and removed that. Because the more I started exploring project management, a common theme was, for you to get paid more, you need to have the PMP certification. And I said, all right, let me start studying for the PMP certification. It was through beginning to study for that, I really realized I don't want to do this. Literally studying for that exam did not give me life. It felt like a chore. It felt like a task. It was very tedious, very mundane. Really wasn't for the girls. It was upsetting me and my homegirls. Like, I did not want to do that. And I was trying to force it. I was really trying to make fetch happen. I was really trying to force it, and it showed. Because first of all, the PMP is an exam that you have to pay to take, and it was like $300 at that time. Spending $300 on an exam, I was not positive I would pass, because it was like pulling teeth to get me to study for it, really pushed me in a different direction. Because I'm like, yeah, I can't see $300 leaving my account for something I'm not even that serious about. So that's something else that like I was reminded of in this moment, because just like back then, something that was not for me for real, I was trying to force. It felt heavy. It felt energetically draining. It felt like a chore, a task. It did not give me life. It did not give me excitement. And then because I wasn't going to get the PMP, I said, okay, what's the next best thing? The CAPM. That's like the baby PMP. Riley, please be patient. We are almost done. The baby PMP is the CAPM. So that is something where I actually enrolled in like, I forgot the name of the course, but I enrolled in some course that was really cheap. It was really cheap, and it gave me all of the material that I needed to take the CAPM. I just got through the course. I got the information I needed. I went on a job interview. I told them I did this course. I got the skills, and that's how I actually ended up with this job that I'm in now, where I am doing project management. I just don't have a project management title, but I am doing project management. And it's been through doing this job and acting as a project manager that I said, this ain't it either. I'm so glad I saved $300, because this is not it. The job itself feels very heavy. It feels very draining. I'm like harassing grown people to do things. And then I have to come up with reasons for why things are not done when my whole job is reliant on other people doing their job. Like, I have to explain why other people are not doing their job, and I have to explain it in a way where they can put it in documents. And they don't like the truth in documents, that's for sure. I'll tell you that. So the whole environment just feels very heavy. It doesn't feel like truth. It doesn't feel like light. They hate the truth. They hate the light. And I can't get jiggy with that. I said, this ain't it. This ain't it. I got to figure something else out. And it's through trying to figure something else out that I was like, man, I don't really want to do, because now I'm in the job portal. I'm in the job portal looking for new positions. And I said, none of them are calling out to me. None of them are calling out to me. I'm not excited about any of this. I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to trade one bad job for another. That's not it. So I did have an experience at work with HR involvement that made me feel like if I do have to work in this setting, I think I want to work in HR to advocate for people like me that go through crazy things with people higher than them, and people that are at higher places in the company. They think they could just act any which way. I want to be somebody that advocates for the little man. I've always been an advocate for the I'm always rooting for the little guy. I'm always what's that saying? I can't think of it right now. Let me not spend too much time trying to figure it out. But that's how I've always been. And now that the thing had happened to me, and by the grace of God, I've prevailed, I said, well, if I do stay in this industry, I want to pivot to HR so I can help people that are in a similar position that I was in, right? Now, if I actually switch to HR or not, I don't know. Who knows if that will happen, because I haven't needed that to happen. Through focusing on the Lord, because things were so bad at work that I literally just locked in with the Lord. Like, if I didn't lock in with the Lord, that place would have ate me alive. And it was through locking in with the Lord that he revealed what I should probably be doing. And what I've learned, this is what the whole lesson is. I know I've given y'all a lot of background today, but I hope you enjoyed the story. You learned a little bit about me. If I'm gonna be giving you lessons, you should probably know who your teacher is. Anyway, it was through locking in with the Lord, I've learned that something that is for you, something that you are in alignment with, it's not going to feel heavy. It's not going to feel draining. It's going to take effort, but there's going to be a difference between something taking effort and feeling heavy and something taking effort and feeling peace while you're doing all that effort. There's a difference. And I'm noticing the difference because as I launch my Etsy shop, as I make my TikTok videos, as I'm making these YouTube videos, as I write on my Substack, as I'm starting to vlog my mornings on my Substack, all of these things, I'm doing 5 additional things on top of my one actual job. This feels heavier than all 5 of these things combined. And that has screamed to me what direction I need to put my energy in. And I know that a lot of people I have watched, a lot of people that have inspired me, they often say they started doing what they love for free. They do it for free, and eventually you start getting like paid for it. You start seeing the fruits of your labor, but that's just a bonus. What happens is you would do what you love to do for free. Right now, I'm doing what I love to do for free, and it gives me life. I know it gives me life because I'm able to do these things when I come home from a very draining day at work. And it's like the way I feel at work, you would think I would come home and need to just pass out. But no, I get excited to come make this YouTube video and share what I've learned with other people. I get excited getting my fingers together on Substack and creating a story. I get excited making videos and posts that glorify God. I love the creative things. Like, I'm really learning that what God wants for you is going to feel light. It's going to feel energizing, and you're going to just be naturally good at it. It's going to be fun. Wow. I've spent 20 minutes just giving the background. So I think now would be a good time to get into what Bible verse supports what I'm saying. I'm so glad you asked. Let's look at this good book. And we are in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Do you know who's speaking? Sit up. Jesus, okay? Jesus is speaking. And I'll have some notes down here too, because I do not even want to mess up this good message that Jesus Christ himself said. Okay, let's break it down. It starts with, come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, right? Another version says, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, right? That would mean all of you who are working and have a heavy load. Life is just feeling heavy. Jesus is talking to people who feel drained, worn out, burdened, and overwhelmed. He's saying that emotional, mental, and spiritual heaviness on top of physical exertion, he's acknowledging that life can do that to you. Life can make you feel all of these things when you're out of alignment. It's showing that God recognizes that life can do this to you. Life can make you feel like you're drained, worn out, overwhelmed, burdened. Life can do that to you. The Lord is acknowledging that. He's calling you to him. He's getting your attention. He's like, hey, you there. Hey, you there with the long face and that's bent over because your back hurts because you've been standing all day at that job that is just so overwhelming and so physically draining. He said, you there, I'm talking to you. Or the one that's staring at the screen all day and you're just drained. You're just so drained, you're so drained. He said, I'm talking to you. He goes on to say, I will give you rest. That means Jesus is saying, I'm calling you out of all of that heavy labor you're doing. Come to me. He's promising relief, renewal, refreshment, a refreshing life, peace and restoration of strength. He is saying that he sees the heaviness that the world has laid on you. Come to him. He's promising you in exchange for that heavy lifestyle, he's going to give you something light. He's going to give you something that you can rest in and feel peace in. He's reminding you that when something is taking your peace and it's never restoring you, it's not from him. It's not from the Lord. It's from the world. He goes on to say, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart. He's offering an exchange. You exchange the path the world gave to you that has left you feeling burdened, overwhelmed, drained, hopeless. He's offering to exchange that for a life with him where he is going to, let me get my words right. Nope, I would just be repeating myself. He's saying, though, he's going to take all of that and he's going to give you rest. He's going to give you peace. He's going to give you joy. And I feel like a great example of this right now is literally my life right now. I am still very much in the corporate space. I'm still working. It feels draining. It feels light. But since I've stepped into my identity with the Lord, he's shown me a new way of life that can be very fruitful as long as I stay consistent and put the work in. He's showing me he will exchange this heavy, boring, tedious, mundane lifestyle that the world tricked me into, like that serpent tricked Eve. He will exchange that for something that feels easy, something I'm naturally good at, and that eventually can be what fuels my life. He can use that to provide for me, and it's going to feel good. Jesus's leadership style is gentle, humble, and patient. So he'll wait for you. He'll wait for you to catch up and know that his way is the better way. He's not going to pressure you. He's not going to manipulate you. He's not going to guilt you into doing anything. It's only when you realize that your way has left you so broken down that you run back to the Lord. He's like, all right, I'll wait for you to come to me. I'll wait for you to come to me. So I think this is a good reminder that when something feels overwhelming, it feels harsh, it feels like it's crushing your soul, that is not a representation of Jesus, because Jesus is gentle, Jesus is patient, Jesus is humble, Jesus will be nice to you, unlike the world in corporate America. People are so mean. Adults are so mean. It's like a bunch of adults that still have a high school mentality. They're like a bunch of mean girls and mean boys. And then the ones that aren't mean, but like they just haven't really developed, they don't have nothing really to talk about. It's like, this way of life is just not for me. It's just not for me. I need stimulating conversation. I need peace. I need things that make sense. Let me get off that tangent. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. That's it. That's the statement. That is the statement of all statements. This is deep internal rest, peace, clarity, emotional stability, spiritual claim. Whew. The thing is, God calls you and he says that your soul should have rest at its core. Even if it requires effort, you should still have rest on a soul level. So anything that's constantly disturbing your soul, constantly disturbing your peace, God did not give that to you. That is not a God-given assignment. That's a world-given assignment. Because anything the Lord is going to give you, you will feel an underlying level of peace. And I'm not trying to say that corporate America is really bad. Because like, say you really enjoy your job. If you really enjoy your job and you feel peace, maybe that was your God-given assignment. We do need people to do that stuff. I'm just saying, for me, I got a better calling. Something that is better for me, better suited for me. And I'm not sure if it would be better for someone else to tap into the Lord and figure out what he's calling you to. What feels naturally easy for you? What's something that you would do for free? Because if you would do it for free and it benefits other people, eventually that's going to make you money, and that's a good indicator of the direction you should start going in or start investing more time in. And I'm not saying just quit your job all willy-nilly. I did not quit my job all willy-nilly. I will be there tomorrow morning, but I'm going to do this until the Lord tells me it's finally time for me to walk away. And man, oh man, I'm going to rejoice. I'm rejoicing now because I already know it's coming. And I'm just waiting for him to stamp it. So just to kind of wrap it up, when something is easy, it means it's well-fitting, it's kind, it's good for you, it's designed for you. It's something that you will naturally be good at, because the Lord's given us all bits of his creativity. He's given us all natural skills that he wants us to use. He planted a seed specifically in you that you are meant to cultivate and then mass produce. Help other people through the gift he gave you. It's something that's going to help other people and it's going to fuel you because it comes easy to you. So you have to figure out what comes easy to you that serves other people. Chances are that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's a good idea of the purpose lane you're supposed to be in. Something that is light means it's carried with grace. It's not weighing you down. I'm sure we've all had jobs where they're asking us to do things that just feel like, you serious? Like, when things feel like that, when you don't have joy doing what you're doing, it's a good chance you're probably not supposed to be doing that. It's probably not for you. So just a little recap while we're wrapping it up. If it's a God-given assignment, it's going to fit you. It's going to suit your season. It's going to bring purpose to your life. It's going to come with grace, and it's going to strengthen you. Shoot, it's going to energize you. Like I said, I was drained at work. I came home, turned on this camera, and I was so excited to share this story with y'all and the lessons that it breeds. I'm so excited. We've been talking for 30 minutes. 30 minutes straight. Lord, glory be to God. But if an assignment is not from God, if it's from the world, it's going to drain you. It's going to overwhelm you. It's going to suffocate you. It's going to destroy your peace, and it's going to feel too heavy to carry. Like, it's literally going to be crushing you. It's a burden that's not shaping you. It's not strengthening you, and it's not giving you peace, clarity, or energy. And I think we've all had seasons where we've done something where we felt that. And that's a good indicator that that's not from the Lord, because the Lord does not want to put a heavy burden on us. He says, Jesus himself says, "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So if something you are dealing with does not feel easy and light, there's not that underlying layer of peace, even if it requires effort, because things do require effort, that is okay. When something does not align with what this good book tells us the life with God will come with, that's your indicator. That's not it. You need to pivot, and you need to pivot quick. Figure it out. But don't do nothing crazy, like up and quit your job without a different source of income. Unless the Lord told you to. Shoot, maybe he got different plans from you. I'm just a talking head on the internet with something to say, okay? Well, just to wrap it up, this is the lesson for the day. Pay attention to your energy levels, because they will tell you if you are or are not in alignment. And we want to be in alignment, okay? Thank you for listening to today's lesson. I know it was a bit lengthy, but you learned a little bit about me, and I think you should if you're going to be watching my videos, and you should be watching my videos. I'm dropping gems. I learned so much. I love learning. It's a beautiful thing. And I love learning how the Bible literally gave us all the answers from the beginning, and we just haven't been listening. So I love learning these things and then sharing it with you and helping you on your journey. I hope you appreciate it, and I hope you stay tuned for the message at the end. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I know you need a calendar for 2026, and I'm going to tell you why you should buy mine. I know you want to grow your life. I know you want to grow your walk with the Lord. I know you want to become a better you. This calendar is geared towards all of those goals I know you have. In this calendar, I have a Proverbs verse at the top of each month, related affirmations that apply to the Proverbs verse, and a reflection question aimed to gear your inner growth. It's also accompanied by a picture that I took myself by the grace of God. I have a hot girl dog, and we would go on hot girl walks, and I would take pictures all the time. And then one day the Lord said, go ahead and put it in the calendar. So I went ahead and put it in the calendar, and this is it. And I really hope you consider buying it. Like I said, it's really geared towards those that are interested in growing their walk with the Lord, and also just doing some inner healing, inner reflection, and self-development. It's really like a self-improvement motivational type of calendar. So it includes it includes a Proverbs verse at the top of each month to help you know what the word says and help guide your decisions throughout the day. But it also gives you affirmations to help you remind yourself that you are made in the Lord's image and you are capable of all of these great things. And then there's a reflection question at the end, because sometimes we have to ask ourselves some hard questions so that we can get to the growth. So there you have it. I hope you're interested, and if you are, you can find the link in my description. I hope to see a purchase from you. Thank you for listening. Bye.